Good evening, Hub City Game Day fam. I'm your host, Cameron Johnson, and I'm here with
Andy B.
And
Gabe, man, try to take me out, but I'm back.
Now, I know you guys are used to seeing us before the game, but today we got something a little special. Our first ever Hub City post-game episode. The Southern Miss Golden Eagles had a midweek matchup against Georgia Southern today, and boy, it was quite the shootout. The Golden Eagles led going 28-7 into halftime. Leading the way with a stellar first half was quarterback Braylon Braxton with 2 passing touchdowns and Jeffrey Pittman with 2 rushing touchdowns. The first half belonged to the Golden Eagles, but in the second half, Georgia Southern, they made an effort to come back. USM managed to hold on and win 38-35, adding another key Sun Belt Conference win to their resume, giving Southern Miss a 4-2 overall record and a 2-0 conference record. First, I'm going to go ahead and go with you, Gabe. What did you think about the game?
Honestly, between the first half and the second half, I don't know if the orange slices and the Gator were right at halftime, but it was a tale of 2 different halves. The first half, we're coming out, we're blitzing a lot. We're blitzing J.T. French. The kid didn't know which jersey he had on. He threw 3 picks. Mm-hmm. But in the second half, we played a lot more zone.
We did.
We got beat a lot more over the top, and we just kind of looked like Marshall last year. And believe it or not, Georgia Southern came back to beat the 21 players that were on the field for us tonight, but they were just in a green jersey.
Right.
So it was just a we didn't finish performance for me.
Mm-hmm. Andy, what about you?
I got to bounce off of what Gabe said, man. We played that first half like something that we ain't never seen at Southern Miss, or I guess I shouldn't say we ain't never seen, but something we haven't seen in a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And I was really proud of the guys in the first half. I was like, man, this game, we can win this by 40 points. Mm-hmm. And then into the second half, pulled out, I'm not going to say typical Southern Miss fashion, but going to Southern games all my life, I've seen this before. We get tired.
And up to Will Hall real quick.
No, we weren't that bad. We weren't that bad, but we just slipped off, got a little bit more tired in the second half.
Right.
Let them come back a little bit, but still held on just enough to beat them. And it was a fun game to watch anyway. I did get a little stressed there, but we pulled it out.
Great game, a little nervous in the end, but overall, what did you guys think of Braylon Braxton's performance along with our offense performance? I'm going to go ahead and go with you first, Andy.
I thought Braylon did really good in this game. Mm-hmm. All them yards, all them touchdowns, like he went off on them, and I was really proud to see that. I think he's got a promising career here at Southern Miss if he keeps doing what he did in this game, like he did in the Jacksonville State game. Mm-hmm. I'm really proud of his performance in this game.
That he does. Gabe?
For me, Braylon, he came out a little nervous because he had the cliche chip on his shoulder from that being one of his only losses last year. Of course, they were going to lose Ohio State. They knew that, but they didn't expect to lose any other games. So when we were doing the deeper play actions, which we can touch on that if you guys want to too, because we don't usually start with those. We kind of work our way into those. It was a couple throws where he needed like half a second, a little more air on it. He hits Chapman. He missed one to one of our running backs out the backfield. That was kind of like, that's usually not one of his throws. And then he didn't do a lot of scrambling. He tried to stay in the pocket and be more of a pocket passer quarterback, which he's more of a dual threat guy. But overall, I feel like he did good. Had the 2 touchdowns, made the right reads, and he's just getting better every week.
That's right.
I'm glad he didn't try to run the ball that much either.
Yeah.
Like, he's a great rusher, but whenever you look at how it versed up this week, usually he gets probably close to 100 rushing yards in the past few games that we've seen. This week he had 17 rushing yards compared to 237 in the air. So that's, you got to take it.
I mean, if Jeffrey Pittman keeps running how he's running, why should Braylon run?
Right.
Now, I'm going to move on to the next thing. What did you guys think about the end of the game, the comeback that Georgia Southern tried to make? Gabe, you first.
Georgia Southern, they shot themselves in the foot. A couple key penalties. First of all, it's 2 minutes and 11 seconds left in the game. Why are you calling a timeout? That 11 seconds is not going to make a difference.
Right.
Then you give us the chance to basically, hey, we're going to run the ball down your throat, which the O-line in the last 2 minutes, they came back alive. You have the onside kick, which it wasn't going to get recovered, but then you add a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which gives us 15 more yards when instead of, hey, we're first down from our 40, now we're in plus territory because you give them that 15 yards. You can't do stuff like that. Georgia Southern, they got back into the game and realized, hey, we could possibly do this, and tried to overstep themselves.
Right.
USM realized that. Coach Huff was on the sideline laughing like, oh, yeah, we got them. They thought they had something. We knew what they were going to do. Because, like I said, he's played them before. He knew his wrongs. He knew his rights. So in that last 2 minutes, it just came together for us.
It's all about the adjustments, and I think that's really what it came down
Yeah,
to.
most
Coach Huff
definitely.
made the adjustments when they were important, and ultimately it helped us evade Georgia Southern. Andy, what do you think?
And again, I got to piggyback off of him, and it was just like I said, I've seen it before in the Southern Miss game. Our offense and our defense just tired down a whole lot in that second half. I don't know what it is, but I've seen it throughout Will Hall, saw it throughout Jay Hobson, saw it with when Todd Munkin was here. It's just a repeated thing that keeps happening, man. But kind of like he said, you got that 2 minutes and 11. You got the timeout. You got the 2-minute warning coming up. Why?
Yeah, why?
Why call that timeout when you got those 11 seconds? Let those 11 seconds run down. Southern, you get to the 2-minute warning. Southern Miss runs another play, which I do kind of understand because that could have been another scoring play. But still, you got one timeout left in the game and you call it before the 2-minute warning. Man, I would just wait. So it was key mistakes through the coaching effort on Georgia Southern's half, but also our defense just got really tired, and that's something that we still got to practice with, some conditioning and stuff.
Right. Now, Gabe, how different does the game end if Georgia Southern doesn't burn that timeout in the end?
Honestly, maybe they load the box and get a stop. Maybe they load the box and put pressure on Braylon because, like I said, we have a play-action offense. But I don't think there was no stopping Jeffrey Pittman, honestly.
Yeah. And speaking about Jeffrey Pittman, how about Jeffrey Pittman in the run game, guys? What do we think? First, Andy?
Man, that was an electric game he put on.
I loved it.
Well, we were watching him on TV, and, man, he run that thing straight up the middle so many times, carrying guys down the field with him.
It's the best part.
You'd have thought that these guys were injured and they were on a golf cart. He was carrying so many guys down the field with him on every run. 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. His longest run was 16 yards, and I imagine he was dragging 4 or 5 defenders with him. This guy plays like Sammy Winder did back in the 80s, and it's something I'm proud to see.
Sammy Winder reference. Look, and I've said it all year.
Hey, you know me. I'm going to bring up an old player when I can.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Of course.
I've said it all year. We haven't been that solid in the run game. Then again, our running backs aren't the bigger bruiser guys, but I think we finally found our running back. We've been running with Matt Jones, Robert Briggs, and now Jeffrey Pittman. But I think Jeffrey Pittman's the starter going into the season. Now, all 3 running backs are still going to play. Matt Jones scored a touchdown tonight. Like, he played great. But Jeffrey Pittman was like a madman on fire. And I said in the turning point in the game when he got slammed out of that unsportsmanlike kind, I'm like, oh, you made that little guy mad, man. Shorter people, they have a smaller temper, and he sure showed it. Next play, he ran a guy completely over, and I was like, oh, yes, this is going to be one of those games for him.
One thing I love about our run game is just it's diverse, right? We've got Jeffrey Pittman leading the charge, but we still have those 2 other running backs that we can cycle out, keep his legs fresh, keep their legs fresh, and it all combines for just one cohesive, versatile running effort, along with Braylon Braxton filling in the holes where he needs to. But ultimately, it's all about taking that load off of Braylon and not forcing him to run. Now, lastly, what are y'all's thoughts on the defense? Andy, I'm going to go at you first.
Man, we were all watching the game, and I don't know if y'all heard me that much, but I kept saying the Nasty Bunch chanting a lot. 5 sacks.
Yes.
65 total tackles.
Love it.
Now, as I said, multiple times, we got tired in that second half, slowed down a little bit. But them guys were going off that whole game. 3 interceptions on J.C. French from Georgia Southern tonight, man. The Nasty Bunch was back in full effect. You want me to bring up another old player? Hanford Dixon. Want me to bring up another one? I'll come back to you later. But Hanford Dixon, he'd be proud if he saw this team tonight.
Now, this is interesting because, in a press conference recently, Coach Huff was asked about how he felt about the Nasty Bunch being back, as some people would say. That's a lofty title to just throw around.
Man, look, I have my title for the defense. I don't think, listen, I call it the ball-head aggression defense because Coach Huff we'll start out the game a little slower in most games. Coach Huff get that vein running, ball-head shining, and we're just a whole different team. So I like to call it the ball aggression. This is the most aggressive defense I've seen. And we've had guys step up today. Now, you usually got Chris Jones, you usually got Josh in our secondary, but we have another guy stepping in secondary, Jonathan Penix. He played in the slot today, caught an interception. Mike Montgomery, who has been playing well, stepped up, caught a pick, made some plays today. Those are 2 more guys we can add to this bald-head aggression defense that's going to get us somewhere.
And we even had Jamon Tapp. He even got in the backfield once, and I believe he recorded himself.
You know what I'm saying? He's been doing it, though. He has been.
He has been. But, that's all from me as far as, the defense, the offense, Braylon, Jeffrey Pittman. And that's going to wrap up the show. But before the show ends, we're going to hear from our Hub City Game Day reporter, Ashley Naylor, on next week's game for USM. Ashley, what do you got over there?
Thanks, Cam. USM will take on ULL next week in another road test. The Golden Eagles are 1-1 on the road, and the Georgia Southern win should help with the team's momentum. The Raging Cajuns are 2-3 with a poor offense. The team's leading passer, Daniel Beal, has 395 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, and 4 interceptions. This game should be a game where our defense finds their footing and gets dialed in for the tougher conference play. Now, as for the offense, continue to grow. The offense has gotten better every week, and this week should be no difference. Cam, back to you.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us here in the studio. I hope you guys enjoyed this post-game special of Hub City Game Day. I'm your host, Cameron Johnson, Gabe, Andy, and we'll be signing off.